MLMIC operates in the healthcare space, and healthcare is changing rapidly in the U.S. Is this good or bad for Berkshire Hathaway?
Well, change is always something to deal with in all industries, and how well you adapt to it, to keep the best of the old and embrace the good that comes with the new. But in all of our business, we have a great faith in America. And I mean, look at what's happened just in the medical arena, but you can look at it all over. I mean, if you go back to our country, you know, it's less than 3 of my lifetimes ago, Thomas Jefferson was 12 years old. So everything you've seen, if you've flown out to Omaha or someplace, everything you see is profit. I mean, this country works. It works magnificently. And part of the reason it works is because there is this dissatisfaction with what we have today, and we can do better tomorrow. And certainly, you know, medicine's been built on that. And you go back a few hundred years, and I'm not so sure you'd want to have some of the things done that they can do now, you know, very easily. So we will try to stay abreast and even ahead of developments as they come along. But the fundamental proposition of having the physician out there, knowing that an insurer is there, because the physician's going to deal with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and some of them will, you know, they will be displeased just because of their own disposition or unreasonable expectations or something like that. So there are going to be suits from time to time against the best in the world, and the idea of having a partnership with somebody that has unlisted resources and will pay if something is appropriate, but also defend the physician, even if it make more sense economically to settle it because some lawyer just wants to get a fee and move on. That's going to be something that's going to be important 10 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now. Medicine will get better and better, but there will always be that doctor-patient relationship, and insurance will be a part of the whole situation with the medical profession.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question physicians today are facing some incredible uncertainty, and has created real fear among physicians. A lot of it around the consolidation that's occurring in healthcare, that consolidation driven by changes in the very business model in healthcare, shifting risk from payers to providers, and even to patients. And physicians don't know where that's going to land. I don't think any of us know where all this consolidation and this shift in the business model for healthcare really is going to land. A lot of experiments going on out there about it. In fact, Warren, I have to say, a lot of us on the provider side are looking at you and what you're doing with JP Morgan and with Amazon. We're all saying Warren's got something up his sleeve. He's figured this out now.
I wish I had. No, but what I do have is 2 smart partners. But no, the reason that we've gotten together with JP Morgan and Amazon is because we don't know the answers, and we're hoping that something comes forth that helps deliver better care and helps people meet the cost burden of medicine and healthcare, and we're ideally suited to do it because we've got 3 CEOs that totally trust each other. I'm not even sure we have a name for this, and in terms of who puts up a third of the money, we just totally trust the other 2 people, and we've got a big employee base, you know, probably well over 1 million people, so that if we find something, we can afford to fail, and it really isn't failure if you're looking for something better, and your own mistakes can maybe help other people further down the road. You know, Edison had that famous quote about trying things that weren't working, and said that must be kind of discouraging. He says, no. He says, we got one less now to test in the future, and he finally found it, of course. So I think our partnership which is really in the embryonic stage, and which there's no timetables or anything. And I say it's a little like when Columbus sailed. I mean, we don't know exactly where we're going, and we hope we don't fall off a shelf out there someplace, but maybe with luck we'll run into a continent, who knows.
But you have a great leader in Dr. Atul Gawande.
Oh, yeah,
I thought that was a
absolutely.
wonderful selection.
Absolutely, no, and we spent a lot of time on that because that's the key. I mean, you can't really succeed in something like this unless you find a person that's got all the qualities you need to be a leader in exploring, really, and who's willing to admit when things go wrong. I mean, we expect some failures, and we'll see where it goes. But Atul Gawande is a terrific talent.
And the experiments that Warren obviously exemplifies, a lot of those experiments are going on in healthcare now, not of the magnitude that Warren's been able to put together, but the federal government, state government, trying new kinds of models for reimbursement to move away from fee-for-service to risk sharing, those kinds of things. It's tough on physicians, and we're hoping that we're going to find the model that'll work for the country, help control costs, while at the same time still allowing the clinical advances that Warren mentioned to go forward. At MLMIC, we know we're going to have to be innovative as well. With the consolidation that's occurring, larger physicians coming together to form larger groups, health systems coming together, then large groups coming together with health systems, that consolidation means that we need to be more innovative on the malpractice side, the medical malpractice insurance side, and that's exactly what we want to do as part of Berkshire Hathaway with those resources. We have a number of innovative ideas that we want to be able to work with some of these larger groups and be able to roll out and do things that we just couldn't do in the past. We couldn't experiment the way you described.
Yeah, what I hear from people in the medical field, that they'd like to figure out some way so they can spend more time on medicine and less on semi-clerical or required what they would say is non-productive use of their time, and that's a goal in every industry. I mean, we want people wherever whether they're making candy or whether they're running a railroad or whatever it may be, you want them to become more efficient. I mean, that's how America's progressed is finding ways to make the individual more productive than they otherwise would have been. And there's been a tremendous advance in skill, but it's been accompanied to some extent, I would say, by more time of the physician being required for things that he or she would rather not be doing. It's not the best use of their talents. By far the best investment you can make is in yourself. If you invest in yourself, nobody can take it away from you.